Hi, my name is Marietta Mehanni, and this week I have a balance exercise for you. Huh? A balance exercise. It's something we've discussed in my Aqua Mentoring group for a while, and I wanted to come up with some balance exercises that someone like myself would find challenging, because I know that we often give balance exercises predominantly for a population group that had a fall, more prone to falls, but this can happen at any age. In fact, the lack of balance actually starts much younger, right? So that was the goal. Now this might work very well with all client groups, I don't know. But basically what you're going to do is have a heel to toe position on the pool floor. So heel up against my toe. That's important that you keep that, right? And you need to be in chest depth water or maybe a little bit shallower. You're going to hold one dumbbell in front and you're going to keep your arms straight and start initially by just doing small movements side to side. Now, I'm already finding it a challenge to put across to the left side, which is the left foot that's in front, right? So, yep, I'm already finding that a bit of a challenge. I can feel my muscles in my lower body activating quite strongly to try to keep my feet on the pool floor in that position. So this is something that definitely needs to be done in chest depth water. Now, I can do that as well. This is a little bit easier, much easier to pull that dumbbell in and out. Yeah, but if you want to make it a little bit harder, and this is where you could possibly have level 1, level 2, you go to this position. Now, I'm going to give you a cool little combination. So, you have, say for example, your left leg in front, right foot behind. Start with this. And I know how much you guys love a combination. Then give people the choice to go from side to side. Straight away, my body is having to work. That turbulence is really challenging, yes. And then from here, you can then add cross-country ski, in and out. Yep, sweeping that dumbbell across the body to give a little bit of relief. You could go open, close, open, close. So now you've got your arms doing what they were doing before. And then you put your right foot in front and you land on the pool floor, get the toe and heel in place, which you can do quite comfortably with this movement pattern, and then both hands together. Oh yeah. Now, I really love this. One of the conversations we've also had recently in my Aqua Mentoring is talking about limb dominance. So, you know, we sometimes say, oh, I'm right dominant or left dominant. It really is task specific. So I'm right-handed, but now, so that's actually my right side. I was switching it because of the camera. But now that I've got my left foot in front, I find it way easier to pull it across the left. So I find that much easier than what I was doing on the opposite side. So it is very task dependent. Yep, I have way more stability here. And then you can go back to your cross-country ski, and then open and close cross-country ski, and then land here, go back to this, and then both hands on the dumbbell. Oh, I have to say, that's pretty awesome. And a great way to do stability-based training that requires some strength, and put it together with something that has some cardio, that has a way of being able to switch positions, and then you've also got the built-in options. Yes, Marietta, that's a really good job. It's a nice combination. So I hope that you put this into your class. Give it a go yourself. It's always interesting to see which side you might wobble a little bit more on. And that is this week's Aqua Tip. This is a great balance exercise, but not difficult to demonstrate on full deck. Well, I hope it's not, because basically what you need to do is have one foot in front of the other. Now, if this does challenge your balance, as an aqua instructor, it's time to really address your own balance challenge, right? And hopefully this will actually help you. So remember how I was talking about in the pool? It's heel to toe, and I would demonstrate this side on, so it's very clear, because it's a little harder to see depth wise if you're facing the class this way. So I'd first of all say make sure that you've got your right foot in front of your left foot and try and get your heel against your toe. And then we're going to open and close the arms. Remember, start with something that's a little bit easier to begin with, and this is where I would then turn to face the class so that they can actually see what the arms are doing. And then say, okay, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging for those who want a bit more of a balance challenge. Let's use both arms, sweeping across the body. I now would also talk to what they will be feeling. I say you're going to start feeling those little muscles inside your foot, around your ankle and your knee joint, trying to stabilize you, okay? And allow that for your brain to sort of learn what it needs to do. Now, on pool deck, you don't have that resistance that they're going to have within the water trying to move the dumbbell from side to side. So they're going to feel it, but you're not going to feel it. But you will feel those little, tiny little muscles inside the foot also active whilst you're doing this. So then you're here. Okay, now let's give ourselves some relief. We're going to do cross-country ski. Now remember, when you do the arm, it has to be across the leg that's in front. So the arm goes that way, not this way. Okay, so this way, that way, this way, that way. Now let's open and close. And then land with your left foot in front. Continue with the open and close. And again, I turn side on. Now something else that you might like to add is the palm turn. So as they open the arm out, emphasize that they pull back with the palm this way, thumb up, back, in, and then they can create a little bit more force, which is going to challenge their balance a little bit more. I would keep repeating the heel to toe. I would keep repeating it. Make sure that you check, just double check that you have heel to toe. If you find the balance a little bit easier, have you gone here, or have your feet separated? And I like to use those sorts of questions so that they're actually double checking themselves to make sure that they've got exactly what you're after. It is the heel to toe that makes it challenging. Now, of course, if you've got people that are really finding that very difficult, you can do things where feet are together, but it's not the same at all. So there's a combination. Start with alternate arm action, go to the more difficult movement pattern, then from here, go to your cross-country ski, then go to your open and close, and then stop and continue with your open and close, and then add the double arm action to go to level 2. Hope you enjoy doing these sorts of moves, and great balance. We can combine it with some cardio. You know, it actually works really, really well in a class, and that is this week's Aqua Tip.